roll call vote.
Take the microphone.
Mr. Landwehr?
I'm here.
Mrs. Olson? Mrs. Sari?
I'm here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Granlund?
I'm here.
Mr. Gloddick?
Here.
And I am also here. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The agenda was posted according to school board policy and Wisconsin state statutes for special meetings. A motion is needed for the approval of the February 20th, 2023 special meeting agenda. This is an open session only. There's no executive session tonight.
Motion by Gale.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second. Terry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Review of budget reductions approved at the February 13th, 2023 school board meeting. Dr. Cronin will read a list of approved budget reductions for 2023-24. This is only a review, not an approval item.
We understand that any reductions are extremely difficult, but each item was thoroughly contemplated, discussed, and was not made lightly. Every employee directly affected by these reductions has been personally contacted. Reduction of copy machines and postage meters, and reduced paper usage. Analyzing the personal appliances used in classrooms. Reduction of building temperatures during unoccupied hours. Elongate the school day by 10 minutes so as to preserve the state-required instructional minutes while reducing the number of student contact days by 5. Teachers will return to the 7:30 to 3:30 p.m. schedule. Teachers, administrative staff, administrative assistants, and head custodians will maintain their current work calendars. Reduction of 5 workdays for paraeducators, food service, bus drivers, custodians, and select 12-month employees. Elimination of all recruitment incentives for substitute teachers and bus drivers implemented during COVID. Reduction of overtime in the transportation department. Implementation of a new leave without pay policy where employee benefits will be paid for by the employee taking leave without pay beginning on day 1 rather than day 11. Reduction of district office staff. Reduction of custodial staff by attrition. Reduction in middle school lunch supervision. Elimination of part-time art and music at Iron River Elementary School by attrition. Art and music will continue to be taught by a licensed music and art teacher. Elimination of the part-time library aide at the high school. Elimination of a full-time social studies teacher shared by the middle school and high school. Elimination of a full-time math teacher at the high school. Elimination of a 7th grade teacher at the middle school. Elimination of an 8th grade teacher at the middle school. Elimination of a part-time health teacher at the middle school. Elimination of an elementary teaching position at the Iron River Elementary School, moving 2nd grade to NES. As a note, Northwestern Elementary School eliminated 3 full-time elementary teachers before the 22-23 school year.
I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I don't know if there's a way we can. Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Crony. Next, we have discussion of the Student Success Center and selected field trips at Northwestern High School. This is only a discussion item. This can be approved under 7B.
It is the recommendation of administration to keep the selected field trips at Northwestern High School. There are not very many, and the cost is not a huge amount. The Student Success Center, you have the documentation from Mr. Carlson of how the students will be allowed to stay in the same room. The same services can be provided by certified teachers rather than the paras that are currently manning that. And the study hall with about 5 students would still be housed then with that same. So it's a way of meeting those needs of the students with the 2 paras with being able to be repositioned to other para positions because they have more seniority, so they could be able to hang on to a position, most likely through attrition. We do have times where we lose some of our paras through the summertime, but they would end up having a position nonetheless, those that are currently in the Student Success Center. Any questions about that? I know there's no vote on that until later in our meeting. Nope. Okay.
Next is public comment on budget reductions, and I'm just going to read this briefly here. The public comment section is open for comments on the budget reductions. We are aware that this subject of budget reductions is very important to all of us. Please know that the rules for public comments apply as the procedure for the public comment section at the conclusion of any regular board meeting. Comments should be focused on budget reductions and will be restricted to no more than 3 minutes in length at the discretion of the board president. This is not the forum for School District of Maple personnel concerns. The public needs to refrain from the use of names or specific positions when used in a negative manner. If you have concerns that involve personnel or staff members, please contact the building principal or the superintendent. So at this time, we can take comments and listen to everyone. You would want to go to where the microphone is. Is it just the one there? Or is there? And you would want to be sure that you state your name for the record.
The board will not respond to you, neither will administration. This is listening. This is for the board to listen to everything and anything you choose to say within the parameters of public comment time.
Hello, my name is Kristen Gilmer. I am an Iron River PTO officer, a local Iron River business owner, and a parent to 2 Iron River students. The PTO has submitted a letter to the school board, Superintendent Croney, Principal Larrabee, and all employees at Iron River that detail the many ways the district has saved money at the expense of Iron River schools' safety and educational effectiveness. As much as these concerns are important, tonight I would like to address your decision to move our incoming 2nd grade students and teacher to NES for the 2023-24 school year. You cite a budget deficit as the primary reason to lay off 3 to 4 teachers within the district, as well as moving our students. Yet during your February 13th board meeting, everyone except for Mr. Landwehr voted to approve the CESA 12 property purchase of almost $700,000. And tonight, you plan to discuss wage increases for administration and middle management during agenda item 7D. Why is purchasing property and wage increases more important than teachers to teach our students and keeping them at their home campus? One possible reason the board voted to move the 2nd grade class that many may not realize is a pattern of false information to the board. A board member who I spoke with shared with me that Superintendent Croney informed the board that there were no concerns from the Iron River families impacted. Yet the PTO personally spoke with 7 of the 9 of these families who are all vehemently against this move. And according to these families, they were not asked for their opinions, but rather told that the move was happening. Some of these families have stated that they will move their students and associated siblings out of the district if 2nd grade is moved to NES. Another example of deceitful communication to the board occurred 2 years ago when the district tried to move Iron River's 5th grade class. Again, the board was told during an open public meeting that all families were supportive of the move. But thankfully, Mr. Granlund had heard the rumblings prior to the meeting and taken it upon himself to speak with the impacted Iron River families before that meeting and confirmed that the statements of support were false. We were blessed when the board voted in that meeting to keep the 5th grade at Iron River. So we come to you today hoping for the same support and ask you to reconsider your vote in moving the Iron River 2nd grade class, especially in the light of the fact that you were misled. As an option I would like you to consider is moving an existing NES 1st or 5th grade teacher into 2nd grade. Based on the proposed class sizes for NES for the 2023-24 school year, this option would not adversely impact the average class size for NES, nor would it uproot our Iron River students. Why, when the taxpayers of Iron River and Hughes provide a profit into the district, do you consistently take away from Iron River? Why, when you cannot properly operate within your budget, should management be rewarded with pay increases to the detriment of our students and teachers?
I'm sorry, you're out of time. Next person?
Is it back on? Hello? Oh. Okay. My name is Nicole Lester. I'm an Iron River resident, parent of a 4th grader, and an officer of the PTO at Iron River Elementary. What is a PTO? A parent-teacher organization gives parents and teachers the opportunity to work together to supplement and enrich the educational experience. And with today's tight budgets, a strong, well-functioning PTO can be a teacher's most important ally when it comes to achieving curricular and fundraising goals. Our district's PTO and PTA do just that because we want to. We know budget cuts are happening everywhere and they are hard. We wouldn't want the job to decide what needs to be done, what needs to be cut, what needs to change. What we do want is to have our board and district look at the big picture and decide what is best for our students and staff. Change is hard for everyone, but in today's society, think of the daily changes that kids go through. Some kids live in split households going back and forth week by week. Some kids live on or rely on grandparents or other family members if their parents are not in the picture. Some kids have mental health issues that they don't understand. Some kids are in a well-rounded, fun-loving household with both parents and their siblings, but all kids need to be able to look at what stability means. How they are brought up is not their choice, it's the people around them, especially in their elementary years. No, Maple School District can't help what goes on outside of our school doors, but they can help with what goes on inside those doors. Education, compassion, direction, discipline, love. I can go on and on with what we see our teachers and staff do for our students in Iron River. Do I think the teachers and staff would show the same traits if they needed to be moved? Absolutely. Do I think the kids will get the same out of it if they need to move and not know what each year will have in store for them? No. The kids that are enrolled in Iron River are their family's choice for whatever the reason or reasons may be. Our school staff, families, and community members see and hear of issues within the school district. All schools have issues, and we get that. Staff have to deal with their classroom or department budget cuts. Staff have to deal with outdated technology. Staff have to deal with daily internet interruptions that play a huge role in their students' education. Staff have to deal with being short-staffed in certain areas. Do they deal with it? Every single day. Something they can't deal with is taking their kids and peer away from where they chose to be. Look what else can be done. Listen to your staff, listen to your students, listen to the families and community. Ask for help, ask for ideas, ask for money. Work together. We are a district that needs to step back, look around, see and listen to the needs, and fight for what is right for our kids and staff. I presented this to the board earlier, that there were numbers used in 2021. What Kristen stated earlier, how people would be moving their second grader and or siblings out of the district. With that loss of the numbers that were stated in 2021, that's over $1.1 million. I know we have brought up ideas on how to fix this, and with Mrs. Bernard going to NES, but keeping our kids in and
I'm so sorry, you're out of time.
I'm Samantha Karna. I personally came here because this is a home. Coming to this district, knowing that Iron River, coming here and not knowing anybody. The reason I came here is knowing that this school was so small and everyone became a home. Recently, one of our new Iron River Chief of Police has a family of 5. A child 10 months old, 3 years old, 5 years old, currently in kindergarten this fall, 7 years old, currently in 2nd grade, and a 9-year-old who is currently in 3rd grade. He is very impressed with the staff in the smaller school that he walked through in Iron River. He, along with his wife, are contemplating enrolling in our district or finding another. They are currently in the Washburn district and are happy with the class sizes and everything in one school, but are unhappy with administrative decisions. Being that he just started the job as chief, they are hoping to make Iron River their forever home. They also search for an accommodating house in their Iron River district. Comments were heard that after parents were called, that there was no opposition. After the PTO personally contacted everyone, we have learned that that is not the case, as you can see for each parent comment given earlier in the board letter.
My name is Julie Kreuzer. I have 5 kids currently in the district. My husband and I moved out here, bought land years ago, specifically for the school district because the school was phenomenal. If I were to look at it today, I don't know that we would make that same decision knowing everything that you're pushing through today. The middle school years are the most important years that my kids I know personally have had to go through. And it sounds like now you're asking the teachers to take more on. They're going to be overworked, underpaid, and looking for different jobs. I love our staff at NES, at NMS, and at NHS. And I think that we need to do more to retain the employees that we have instead of letting them go and giving raises to people who already make way above living wages. I think that there should be cuts to the top of the administrative staff, and we should retain some of the teachers instead. To give up health and to put it on every other teacher in the district is ridiculous because A, they're not all getting the same education. They're getting it from 7 different teachers. They're losing out in advisory time. You're crushing the livelihood of teachers. They have families. And I don't know if the board is aware, but I was told by an individual that they had received notification that everyone had been notified by 3 p.m. They got that correspondence and yet received a phone call at 6:30 p.m. telling them that their contract was not being renewed. That is not okay. That doesn't build any trust within this district. Thank you.
We need taller people in the district. My name's Rich Nimitz. I live in Iron River. I've owned a home there for almost 25 years. First of all, I want to say, and if anybody has auditory problems, let me know, I'll repeat it. I'm here representing myself only, not any other entities.
Can you come just a little closer to the microphone? Sorry, we can't hear you very well.
Is
Or
there a
if-
way of moving the
Or if it
microphone
goes
up?
up.
I have an assistant.
There you go.
Thank you, young man.
Thank you.
You want me to repeat that? Yes. You going to start the clock again?
We'll start the clock again.
Thank you very much. My name's Rich Nimitz. I live in Iron River. I'm here representing myself and only myself, not any other entity. I've owned my home in Iron River for almost 25 years. I don't have any kids in the school. My daughter's 31. But I've invested $60,000 via my school taxes in the time I've lived here. You should add it up sometimes. It's an amazing factor. I would say this as much to the audience as to the board. First of all, they're a lot smarter than I am. I mean, I'm a functional doorknob next to them. The bottom line is, what kept me on the straight and narrow in business is do the math. Simple math, add and subtract. Follow the money, believe your eyes, not the sleight of hand. And when in doubt, defer to Occam's razor, which is a scientific axiom that says, when all other answers fail, the most obvious answer is probably the correct answer. Iron River has always been a cash cow for the school district. You can't debate it. That's just a fact. That's why it was brought into the school district, because of the lake properties. Iron River pays 26 to 28% of the total taxes into the school district. It's the single largest community payment that comes in here.
It's hard-
26 to 28% of the total taxes paid into the school district. Here we go. I can do this better. I didn't know I had to almost eat it. And yet we only have 11 to 14% of the total students. So aside from paying the lion's share, what we're really doing, if you factor it out, is we're paying for every other community's kids to come to school here. And yet we're the ones that are threatened with this. I think that in addition to that, we typically have little to no board representation. Yes, we have had members on the board in the past. The good or the bad of it is some of them have been teachers, and you're going to get a different perspective there. I personally, again, because I'm not that smart, I can never understand why Maple always needs more money. State school aids just were announced. Bayfield got 115,000. Drummond got 9. That's 9,000, not million. South Shore got 28,000. Spooner got 255,000. Maple got $7.5 million, almost 7.6. And Maple's taxes are higher than all those other communities. Governor Evers' budget was just announced. He's proposed putting $2.4 billion into schools. I understand it's just proposed, it hasn't gone through. But the end game always turns into the money issue. There's another number I want people in the audience to keep in mind, and that's April 2026 and $3,051,975, because the payment for the school mortgage from the referendum 15 or 20 years ago ends April 2026. That payment annually is a little over $3 million. We should make sure we get that money back or it's spent appropriately. Keep one other thing in mind. Your second graders this year become third graders next.
It's hard to hear.
Good evening. My name is David Sombronowitz. I am a taxpayer in Iron River. I'm also the town chairman of the Board of Supervisors in Iron River. I came to this meeting primarily to find out what was going on as it relates to these budget reductions. And I see a lot of folks here from Iron River that are going to be affected significantly by the change that you want to make to the second grade there in Iron River Elementary. I understand fiduciary responsibility. As town chairman, we have to do it in Iron River. Every municipality, every school board has to do that. Part of that fiduciary responsibility is a responsibility to our employees and to those people we service. Part of that responsibility is to find a way to make ends meet with what you have. And that's one thing, as I listen to the people here, as I look at what the school board has decided as it relates to the second grade in Iron River Elementary, I don't see that fiduciary responsibility was taken up, especially when I take a look and see that you're going to be considering wage increases for a number of people in the administration and other areas. And as the young woman said about the teachers, I think it's vital that those teachers get paid the way they should get paid. The only other thing I would say to you as a board is to reconsider this as it relates to Iron River. Whatever you do in the moving these second graders out or suggesting they move to NES is going to impact the town of Iron River, the families here that have children in other grades, and it will impact Maple School District as some of these families decide to move their children to other schools. So I would ask this board to reconsider that decision.
My name is Jessica Smurden. I have a child in first grade that is going to be going into second grade next year. So this greatly affects us as well. But on behalf of the Iron River PTO, we want our children to stay in the school their family chose. Has the opportunity of a split multi-age class been looked at? Miss Gidley and Miss Lottie already integrate their classes. Those classes would be the same. That could be a split class next year. If Miss Bernard needs to go to NES, Miss Gidley already has a relationship with her 9 first graders that will be second graders next year. She also has relationships with the kindergarten class that she is with daily. Help keep them, help keep the stability and relationships that they know. We really hope that you guys take in everything that everybody is saying and maybe reverse some decisions here because it's affecting a lot of families drastically.
Can I ask the President, could the people that have spoken submit their words in writing in some form to Dr. Crony? So
Some have been difficult to hear,
they've been, that
and
was
then
kind
we-
of hard to hear.
and that way, if you submit it in writing, then we can make copies of it, and every board member can get a copy of what you said. It's not required, it's just requested. You don't have to do it tonight. You could take your time, submit whatever you wish tomorrow, the next day, no problem, no hurry.
Thank you.
My name is Steve Probst. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the 8 people running for school board in the primary tomorrow. I also have a 4th grader in Iron River Elementary. I would just ask the board to reconsider the decision moving the second graders out. I get it, budgets are brutal right now, and you guys are being forced to pick between bad options. But I'm concerned that this move is going to make the budget problems for Maple School District worse than they are now. You've seen the comments from the parents of the future second graders considering open enrolling out of the district. If they do that, they take the state aid with them. And not just for next year, but for the rest of that student's academic career in Maple School District. In addition, Iron River Elementary attracts a disproportionate number of open enrolling students from other school districts. Iron River Elementary a couple years ago went through the drama of maybe losing 5th grade over to NES. Now there's this talk of 2nd grade going to NES. I'm afraid you're going to get to where parents are no longer looking at Iron River Elementary as a stable spot to bring their kids from South Shore or Drummond and put them in because they don't know they're going to get to do a full career there through 5th grade. They're going to end up getting moved out and they're not going to come. The bus rides are going to be brutal for these kids are 7 years old. I mean, they're going to be on the bus over an hour, on both ends of the day. I can't see parents doing that if it can possibly be avoided. And it seems like there are options from what I've heard, in the 5th grade and the 1st grade at NES. If a teacher was moved out of those grades into 2nd grade, you could balance the numbers of students in the classes approximately where they are now and still keep 2nd grade in Iron River. It wouldn't cost more money. They're all teachers you have right now. But you could balance all the class sizes because I get it, the class sizes are a thing. But it seems like there's options. I just asked the board to reconsider this. This is going to be rough on Iron River, and I think that it needs to be reconsidered. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from Brule. I have 2 kids in Iron River. I want to talk about trauma. There are kids in 2nd grade that have a lot of trauma. These kids have been, I can think of 2 of them specifically that have come from foster home to foster home to foster home. They are finally in their family home with their parents. And thinking about coming into a school where they finally have friends that they can see lasting for a long period of time. These kids have gone from school district to school district to school district, having to make new friends and getting settled at this place and this place. They're finally settled, and what this would do is rip them away from more people that they've learned to love, move them to another school, and then for income reasons, they would have to move back their third grade year. You're double traumatizing them if you do that.
Hello, my name is Brianna Pop, and I do have a child in Iron River Elementary who will be going into second grade next year. And a couple of questions that I had was, what were the other options looked at before this was the decision made? How does this one make the most sense out of any other option? Moving our kids over there, what's going to happen in third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade? Are you just going to keep moving them back and forth between the school districts? Are the teachers just going to have to keep going back and forth? To me, it doesn't make any sense. I have a middle schooler. Yes. Would I pull my children? I don't know. I really am considering it because it makes no sense to have this happen. I would really appreciate it if you would reconsider considering all of the opposition of this, even though I know it was told to the board that nobody opposed this, and I did specifically on the phone. So please reconsider.
I'm Courtney Mashland. I have 3 kids in the district currently, 2 are at Iron River. If you take these kids, when you have siblings in the same school, and now you have 1 in Iron River and 1 at NES, our school district is big on sports. There goes any sport activity, because how can you pick up your small children from 2 different schools at the same time without them having to be left home alone from after school? Plus you have all of the Christmas concerts or end of the day activities or anything else that these children do on day-to-day throughout their school careers that they are no longer able to do because parents will have to choose which child they want to go support. Which one on that day? Oh, Christmas concert, same day. Oh, last day of school, can't go to your picnic because we have your siblings' picnic because we went to your Christmas concert. You have constant ones after school sports. You have, as other people had stated, with our small class sizes, we like to combine and utilize what we have. Our teachers will routinely have classes work together. So it's not taking those 9 kids and moving them with their 9 classmates when the entire school is one giant class that works together and supports each other and works through everything. Because it's not just the first grade this year. First grade goes and works with kindergarten. And it's teaching those kids how to teach and learn and be a good role model for all the other students when they are helping. And it's also solidifying their own learning as they're helping teach the other students and taking them away from the only teachers. They get so excited. Well, it's us only having 1 teacher per grade. They know next year, oh, I get Miss Bernard. I saw her in the hallway. I get to have this teacher. Oh, I had Miss Gidley this year. They know exactly who they're looking forward to, all the friends, and taking that away from them is just cruel.
Do we have any more comments before we move forward? Okay, thank you, everyone. The next item is resignations.
Kendall Shine, grade 5 at NES. Rena Navarro, grade 3 NES, was on leave for 22-23. Buffy Lustry, part-time music at IRES. Rhonda Graff, part-time art at IRES. Doug Ritzinger, 12-month custodian at NHS.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept these resignations? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 7B, additional budget reductions for 2023-24.
There's only one. That would be the Student Success Center being repositioned the way described by Mr. Carlson. That's the only additional one. For the, no, that other motion was done, so it's only this additional.
Okay, so I need a motion for this.
I'll make a motion that we approve the additional budget.
Gail seconded.
Gail seconded. I have a motion and a second. And this needs to be a roll call vote. Mr. Landwehr?
Yes.
Mrs. Olson? Mrs. Sari? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Granlund?
Yes.
Mr. Glonick?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. Next one is an instructional staff, the step increase for 2023, 2024. I need a motion.
Can we, I mean, I'm sure we can do whatever we want, but I know there's talk based on our conversation earlier today of perhaps moving the March meeting early.
Yes, there's talk about March 8th as a potential date for the regular school board meeting, and we were going to discuss that after the meeting to see if that would work for everyone.
I guess I'm just wondering if it's possible to table this stuff until then.
This was already voted on in executive session, both the step increase and approving a 2% increase for the support staff, bus drivers, administrators, middle management. The motion needs to be made in open, even though you already did approve it in closed. So are you asking to table this? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I guess I'm,
Because it's already been approved by the board, but for proper notification, you need to do it in open session clearly.
okay, so based on our agenda,
Mhm.
I guess the ones that I would question are going to be
E,
E.
right, but this
And
is
no,
B.
I understand. So if
Excuse me, C.
if possible, then when we get to E, I'll ask
Right,
that question.
right.
Is that fair enough?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I will make a motion to approve item C, instructional staff step increase for 23-24.
I need a second. And this is a roll call vote. Mr. Landwehr?
Yes.
Mrs. Olson? Mrs. Sari?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Granlund?
Yes.
Mr. Glonick?
Yes.
And I am yes. Next item is the wage increase for support staff, bus drivers, administration, and middle management for 2023-24.
Again, this was voted on in executive session, but to be transparent and clear on the dollar amount, it is a 2% increase. It should be done in open session.
I will need a motion.
I will say part of our goals and one of the issues is staff retention. I have been on the board for too long. I've been on the board for 13 years, and I know we had a number of years where we had freezes, and you know, we lost a lot of good staff during that time. And I think if we went back to freezing, we're going to lose the trust of the employees. We're going to lose a lot of good employees, which we have lost in the past. And I think the audience would agree with that. And I think all of a lot of the school board members and their profiles talked about staff retention, and this is a big part of that. So with that, I will make a motion to approve this wage increase, which is 2% and period. And then I'll just note that that's quite a bit below the inflation rate that's going right now. So I make a motion to approve that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for the 2% wage increase, and I do have to do a roll call vote again. Mr. Landwehr,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson, Mrs. Sari,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Granlund?
Yes.
Mr. Glonick?
Yes.
And I am yes. Okay, item E, compensation for instructional staff at the top of the pay schedule.
You,
A motion to approve the 1% pay increase for all teachers at the top of the pay scale.
Second by Gail.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the 1% for instructional staff at the top of the pay schedule and a second from Ms. Sari. I have to do a roll call vote.
or you can have discussion.
I can do discussion before the roll call vote.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess I would prefer to table it till closed session in March. That'd be my thing. Based on what we were told previously, that historically there was every 2 or 3 years, people at the top of the scale would see something. So year after year, yeah. That's all I know, I guess.
The business manager has already put it into the budget, proposed budget, from what I understand.
That's correct, Gail.
Okay.
My feeling is coming right off of what Mike.
You've got a microphone.
Oh, sorry.
It's live.
Just picking up on what Mike said too, this is one of our goals was to keep teachers without losing them. And I know we're in a different situation than we were when we had the longevity. Wasn't quite the need for teachers to come and stay and want to be here and keep their careers here for their whole entire career. So I think if we want to be a place where teachers want to come and stay, we need to be competitive with other districts.
Was the motion for 1%?
Yes.
Thank you.
What are the two different?
I don't know if yours is on.
It says if you approve your option for either one time or annual.
If we approve that, it is, your options will either be a one-time 690 increase or an annual increase of 690. But am I missing something there?
So that's what the board would have to decide. Is it going to be an annual increase every year of 690? So is it a one-time increase and then that is it? So if you are year 26, so our top of the scale is year 24, they get to year 25, it'd be a 1% 690 increase. Is that a one-time thing? Or does that number continue to grow if you go into year 27, or excuse me, 27? Yeah, 26, excuse me. Or is it a one-time deal? Last year, the board, as far as I know, made the motion to do it for the this coming school year. In theory, you can do it for one more year as well, and then we can rehash that again next year. But we have people that are getting to the top of the scale next school year. I believe you guys have that in your packet. I believe it's 10 individuals, and we have one current staff member that is at the top currently.
So if I'm making $70,000 and we pass this, next year I get 70,690, or is that?
It's 690 is the total. It's 1% of the top. That would be what you would.
But adding to every year,
Yes.
no matter what's from now on. This is like going from.
Think of it as a different step scale for the top, if that makes sense for us. We have
And that 690 is there for the next 10 years.
that's what you'd have to let me know from a budgetary standpoint. Do we want to do it for 1 year? Do we want to do it for multiple years?
Or you could do it for 1 year and reassess. It's up to the board. How was your motion? Because it's up to Sherry.
Made and seconded, so we can't change that now.
But I didn't hear if it's a forever, or is it just for 23, 24, Sherry? What was?
School year and
Okay.
And I
So
don't
who
think it
did
would
the
need to
second?
be amended because it's listed as wage increase for supports. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, okay. I thought it said for 23, 24. Okay, but that's what you're wanting is the 23, 24 school year?
Yes, and then we can look at it again after that.
And whoever seconded it needs to be okay with that, too. Was it Gail?
I'm okay with that.
She's okay with that. So it's 1 year.
Is that, Adam, did you want to say something?
Yeah, the other thing is that number that we have on, I guess, either one of them, if you're looking at your thing, that's the actual wages that you would end up paying. We're short 15% on top of that between WRS and FICA that the district has to cover. So that number increases by about 15% as a cost to the district, just FYI.
Do I have any more comments?
I call for the vote.
Okay, roll call vote then. Mr. Landwehr?
No.
Mrs. Olson? Ms. Sari?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Granlund?
Yes.
Mr. Glonick?
No.
And I vote yes. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Anyone want a second?
Second.
Otherwise, we're here. We're still all night. All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.